We just dove the biggest kelp forest. And we discovered something incredible. Stick around and find out what we learned. Today we're going to explore one of Vancouver Island's biggest kelp forests, Sooke Bluffs. Kelp is an incredible and often overlooked part of our marine ecosystems on Vancouver Island. As an avid diver on Vancouver Island, I'm often captivated by these amazing underwater jungles, but I don't really know a lot about kelp. This is why I brought marine biology student and kelp enthusiast, Jenna Rose.
Thanks guys. Hi everyone, I'm Jenna. I'm so excited to be here at Sooke Bluffs, one of the most vibrant kelp forests on this side of Vancouver Island. Kelp is a form of brown algae or seaweed, and it can grow very large and form forest-like ecosystems underwater.
Awesome! Thanks, Jenna. Now let's gear up and go explore this hidden gem of Vancouver Island.
There are two main species of kelp around Vancouver Island. We have bull kelp and giant kelp. Bull kelp is known for its long, whip-like stipes and large floating bulbs that help it to reach the sunlight at the surface. And giant kelp can grow up to 100 feet tall, forming dense canopies that create a unique underwater environment. However, the giant kelp you'll see at Sooke Bluffs is only around 10 to 20 feet tall.
I would say Sooke Bluffs is kind of more of a hidden gem dive site than your typical dive location, mostly because of the depth. It only gets around 25 feet deep here, but the kelp forest is so vast. It's just spread across all the way from Ella Beach on the western part, and then around the corner almost all the way to Whiff and Spit. A very vibrant and interesting ecosystem that is a little bit different from some of the other ecosystems you'll see with our kelp forests on Vancouver Island. And one of the main reasons for that is it has giant kelp, the Macrocystis. And this is a really interesting species of kelp to see here on Vancouver Island because it's pretty rare to find it. Going down in California and different areas around the Pacific coastline, it's a very dominant species of kelp. But here, it's pretty rare and it's quite abundant here at this dive location at Sooke Bluffs. If you guys know anything about kelp, sea urchins are one of kelp's biggest predators. Sea urchins right now are causing a bit of an epidemic with kelp forests as they are in abundance in eating all the kelp. Mostly this is to do with climate change and rising seawater temperatures, but also to do with some of the other creatures that are become more endangered species like sea otters or the sunflower sea stars. They're the predators of the sea urchins. So without these predators to eat the sea urchins just grow and populate and their populations become out of control. So sea urchins, one thing about them is that if they're in massive populations and if they're eating the kelp forests and there's nothing there to eat the sea urchins, then the sea urchins are just going to eat and wipe out kelp forests. And that's what we're seeing all across right now the Pacific coast of North America is kelp forests are diminishing, and sea urchins are one of the big reasons for that. To come here and see a kelp forest flourish like this one at Sooke Bluffs is absolutely positive and optimistic for underwater enthusiasts and ecologists that really care about the environment and care about the prosperity of our kelp forests across the Pacific coast. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on BC Adventures.